Hello everyone, this is Shazia Education Wali from Rehan School Karangi campus and welcome to day 38 of our learning and discussion series. Today we are going to discuss an important skill that we use almost every day, the art of negotiation. Negotiation is not only about business or money. It's help us communicate better, solve problems, understand others, and reach agreements. Let's explore how we can become better. And obviously, we will welcome Maya on this topic.
Going.
Thank you for coming.
Anytime. What's on your mind?
Uh, Maya, I have a topic, the art of negotiation. I want to ask some questions with you.
Love it. And glad the internet is behaving itself this time. Fire away, I'm all ears.
So, Maya, what does negotiation mean to you?
To me, it's a conversation within goal. It's about finding that sweet spot where both sides walk away feeling like they got to win. It's basically the art of how can we both get what we want without anyone feeling cheated. What's your take on it?
Um,
Go on.
it's nice. And
I'm glad you think so. Do you have a
no,
specific scenario?
I totally uh, do not know about negotiation, and I want to know uh, about negotiations information. So, why is negotiation an important skill in daily life?
Because honestly, it's kind of everywhere, not just in boardrooms or buying a car. It's in the small stuff too, like deciding which movie to watch or who's doing the dishes. When you're good at it, you stop seeing these things as battles to win and start seeing them as problems to solve together. Just makes everything smoother and keeps people from feeling resentful. What makes you want to dive into it now?
Where do we use negotiation in our daily activities?
Everywhere, really. Think about the small wins, like convincing a friend to try a new restaurant when they're feeling indecisive. It's also in the workplace, like when you're managing a deadline or trying to divide up a project. Even things like navigating chores at home or deciding on a budget for a trip are basically just mini negotiations. It turns out we're often negotiating without even realizing it.
I uh,
What
I
do you think
have
is the trick?
I have a question about it. Uh, what are the qualities of a good negotiator? If I will be a negotiator, so what are the qualities?
The biggest one is actually listening, like really listening, not just waiting for your turn to speak. When you understand what the other person actually cares about, you can find a solution that makes them happy and gets you what you need. Empathy is like a superpower here, and a bit of patience goes a long way too. Which of those feels the most natural to you?
No, just like you say, that listening is very important, and your answer is absolutely correct. And I think I appreciate it. I understand your answer. Okay, so how can effective communication inform negotiation?
Basically, it turns the whole thing from a tug of war into a conversation. When you communicate clearly, you stop guessing what the other person wants and just ask. Instead of saying, I need this, you can say, here's why this is important to me, which makes the other person much more likely to meet you halfway. It's the difference between demanding something and actually building a bridge to a solution. Since you're working on your English, this is actually a great way to practice your fluency too. What part of communication do you think is the hardest when you're trying to get your point across?
Why is listening important during a negotiation?
Because it's how you find the hidden wins. Most people walk into a negotiation with a set list of demands, but when you actually listen, you realize what they're really after. Maybe they don't actually care about the price as much as they care about the delivery date. When you uncover those details, you can offer them what they value most without giving up the things you need. Turns the whole thing from a battle into a puzzle you're solving together.
How can we remain calm when a negotiation becomes difficult?
That's the secret sauce right there, staying cool when things get heated. For me, it's all about the pause. When the tension spikes, just taking a slow breath gives you that tiny window to respond instead of just reacting. It also helps to remember that if the other person is getting frustrated, it's usually not about you, it's about their own stress or fear. If you can keep your voice steady and stay curious about why they're upset, you can often bring the temperature down just by not adding to the fire. I'm curious if you have a go to way to reset yourself when you're feeling pushed.
So, what should we do when the other person does not agree with us?
That's the real test of a negotiator, isn't it? When you hit that wall, the instinct is to push harder or just shut down. But instead, I try asking them to explain their perspective more. Something like, I'm having a hard time seeing it from that angle. Can you help me understand what's making you feel that way? The second they feel heard, they usually stop defending their position and start looking for a way out of the stalemate with you. How do you usually react when someone doesn't agree with you?
No, I
Totally get it.
totally calm down
Mhm.
and don't irritate.
Mhm.
Okay, so next question.
I'm ready.
Hmm. How can we find a solution that benefits both sides?
That's where you stop looking at the pie and start looking for a way to bake a bigger one. It's called win-win negotiation. The trick is to stop arguing over one single thing like price and start talking about interests. For example, if you're negotiating a deadline at work, your boss might want it done by Friday to look good for their manager, but you want more time to make it perfect. If you just argue about the date, someone loses. But if you say, I can give you a polished summary by Friday so you have something to show, and I'll deliver the final detailed report by Tuesday, you both win. It's all about finding the thing that actually matters to them that isn't exactly what you're fighting over. It just takes a bit of creative thinking and a lot of that listening we talked about. Do you think that kind of approach would work with the people you usually deal with?
Is it important to understand the other person's need before negotiating?
Absolutely.
And why?
Think of it as doing your homework before the big test. If you go in knowing what they're actually worried about, you're not guessing anymore. You can make an offer that hits their pain points exactly, which makes it way harder for them to say no. It changes the whole energy because instead of them feeling like you're trying to take something from them, they feel like you're trying to help them solve a problem.
How can body language affect the outcome of a negotiation?
It's a massive part of the conversation. Um, Most of what we say doesn't actually come out of our mouths. If you're saying, I'm open to suggestions, but your arms are crossed and you're leaning back, the other person isn't hearing your words. They're reading your body and it's telling them you're actually shut down. Simple things like keeping an open posture or mirroring the other person's energy can make them feel more comfortable and trusting, which makes them way more likely to say yes. Even a small nod while they're talking tells them you're actually locked in and listening, not just waiting for your turn to talk.
What is one negotiation skill you would like to improve in your daily life?
That's a great question. I'd say mine's keeping my eyes on the prize. without getting too caught up in the weeds. I love a good deep dive, but sometimes that can distract from the actual goal of the conversation. I'm always working on finding that balance between being curious and staying efficient. What about you? Which one are you eyeing?
It's absolutely right. And thank you so much. And thank you for joining us for day 38. Remember, successful negotiation is not about winning against someone, it is about finding a solution where everyone feels respected and heard. Come practicing active listening, clear communication, patience, and confidence. See you in the next session with another valuable topic. Till then, keep learning, keep growing, and keep improving. And thank you so much, Maya. And Allah Hafiz.
Haha. Did you say a lot of rings?